is Debbie Fligelman. I write as Debbie Cairo. We're here at the Orrington Hotel in Evanston for our annual conference, the Evanston Writers Workshop, in the trenches with the Writers Conference. We have local authors and editors and industry professionals come in to teach our membership about their craft. We've been around since 2007. The group itself has weekly meetings. We have a creative writing prompt group and a critique group that meet every Wednesday of the month. This particular event, at the moment, we have Danielle Jackson speaking. She's the head of publicity at Sourcebooks. We also have Tracy Montoya. She is the editor at Entagled Publishing. We also have our wonderful authors that have agreed to come in to do this. Jade Lee, Laurie Brown, Christine Sneed, Pamela Ferdinand. We have a bunch of USA Today bestsellers just passing their knowledge on to our group. I am the founder and CEO of Evanston Writers Workshop. I also write under the name of Debbie Cairo. I have 2 books out. One is Over My Undead Body, and the other one is When Good Toys Go Bad, both of which are available on Amazon. If you want to know more about Evanston Writers Workshop, you can find us at evanstonwritersworkshop.org. We are also on meetup.com, meetup.com/evanstonwriters.
And they're a ton of fun. Hi there, I am Jade Lee, and this is my second year coming to the Evanston Writers Workshop. I presented both times, but you know what? I come here to learn too. They are brilliant. I have gotten like 4 or 5 insights just this morning alone. In case you're wondering, I write Regency-era romance as Jade Lee. I'm a USA Today bestseller. This is my book. If you don't know what that Regency-era means, think Pride and Prejudice with sex. That's what I do. I also write as Kathy Lyons as contemporaries. Those are my contemporaries. I've done over 40 books, and yet I still come to writers' events and writers' conferences because I learn things. I, in fact, presented a master's class in characterization with Laurie Brown. And I did my bit, and she was like, oh, that's really a good idea. And then she did her bit, and I was like, wait, do that again? Tell me this? Because everyone writes a little bit different, and we're always trying to think of a new way to do something or a new way to look at character or plot or whatever. And this is what we do, is we get together and we talk about technique, about marketing, and it's wonderful. Okay, so you know how to get in touch with them, evanstonwritersworkshop.org, and I am at jadeleeauthor.com. Yes, I had to put the author in because it turns out Jade Lee is also a porn star, not me, swear to God. So that's my piece of advice. If you're picking a website and an author name, I had to get a pen name for stupid reasons. But anyway, make sure it's available and it's not a porn star.
Hi, I'm Laurie Brown. I'm here at the Evanston Writers Workshop. I presented a workshop on self-editing because writers in this competitive market today need to make their fiction the very best it can be before they send it off to an editor. Now, sure, editors edit and editors line edit, but to get your foot in the door, you've got to have it be as pristine as you possibly can. So I was talking about different techniques to use to make your fiction better. And then I also presented a workshop with the fabulous Jade Lee on characterization, and we have such a good time bouncing ideas back and forth off each other that it is a very creative atmosphere. So I love coming to the workshop because I learn as well as teach. Okay. One of the things that many new authors do is go into passive voice, and we need active voice. We want active verbs. So if you look at your manuscript and you go through and you highlight all of the verbs in yellow, then you become very aware of those verbs. And is that the best verb that you have? Is as was? Because those are the weakest verbs. Find something stronger. Find something active and rewrite those sentences in an active voice. And that will improve your fiction and impress an editor. Something else that you can do is you can go through your manuscript and highlight all the first words of the sentences in some other color, purple, green, and look at the beginning words of the sentences. Are they all the, he, she? Got to change some of those up. Get a different sentence structure. Find something different. And that will improve your fiction. So those are just two of the little tips that I passed along. Hope that's helpful. I write romantic fiction for Sourcebooks, and my last book out was called What Would Jane Austen Do? And it is about a modern-day heroine who travels back in time to meet Jane Austen, and actually does meet her, which of course I would do. If somebody offered me a chance to do that, I would do it in a heartbeat, especially if I could come back. I mean, I would like to come back. And it was a Rita finalist, which in the romance industry is like an Oscar. So I was very, very happy with that. And I am writing a second book in that series called Have You Asked Jane? And I'm working on it now, so I'm hoping it will release next spring. And it is also from Sourcebooks. So you can find my books at sourcebooks.com or any of the major book sites, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of those.
My name's Holly Yeager. I'm on the board of directors for Evanston Writers Workshop. I am the Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Operating Officer working under Debbie Fligelman, who is the founder. And some things that we're doing for Evanston Writers Workshop for next year, in addition to the current promotions to promote the current conference and seminars, is we're actually trying to make the conference more accessible to more people from an online perspective and a frequency perspective, more than just locally here in Evanston, Illinois. But we will continue to research and develop additional conferences that will be available to speakers and potential authors online, and possibly in more locations around the state, if not around the country. So stay tuned. We have more coming your way. Keep your eye on evanstonwritersworkshop.org.
I'm Tracy Montoya. I'm an editor for Entagled Publishing. We are a boutique romance publisher. And today I'm at the Evanston Writers Workshop. I will be talking about beginning your book with a bang. You've often probably heard people think it's a myth, but that an editor or an agent can tell whether your book is going to be rejected or accepted or will read on within the first page or even the first paragraph or sometimes even the first sentence. And it is not so much of a myth. We do that sometimes. And how we can tell is if we love the voice, sure, we'll read on to see, well, what else you got, where's the plot? But if you're relying more on plot to sell your work, particularly if you're going for genre fiction like romance or sci-fi or mystery, it's really important to grab the reader. And how you do that is you begin in the middle of some action. You don't feel like you have to vomit your backstory right away. You begin in the middle of things and keep going from there. If you think about Star Wars, the movie Star Wars, it caught us. We didn't see Luke sitting on the farm on Tatooine bored right away, although that was an important part of establishing his character. We began right away with a space battle, and that's what grabbed us and held our attention. And it didn't hurt that for 1977 those effects were stunningly good. And what you have to do is you don't have the visual and sound element that a movie producer has, so you really have to grab somebody with your action. If you think about murder mysteries in general, do they begin with somebody shopping and we look at them and think about how much it's going to suck when they're killed? Do we begin with the murderer looking at weapons and deciding what do I want to use today? Or do we usually begin with the first murderer? In a lot of cases, you see that first murder happening and then you go back and find out why you should care. And we focus on scaring the pants off you first. So it's never too early to begin your novel, or never too late in your novel. If you begin in the middle of some action, more often than not, you can feed the backstory in later and really grab your editor or your agent in the process. And if you want to read some really fantastic romance novels that begin with a bang, you can go to entangledpublishing.com. We have a suspense line, we have sweet romances, we have hot and heavy romances, young adult and new adult, and historical. So again, entangledpublishing.com. Holly and Amy and Dr. Darian. Do we know anything that's interesting?
No.
Not really. You know, Amy's, she likes to set up her friend as sort of a busybody and likes to talk about their backstory again and again. And we know Holly is kind of a dork and sort of pathetic. And I don't know if we can relate to her yet. And Dr. Darian, he was involved in a sex scandal, which makes him a little bit of a creep, but obviously it's untrue because Amy says so, and she knows everybody's backstory. But when I asked, do you want to know any more of them, pretty much all of you went, no. Okay. So.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Royal. I'm an author, and I'm happy to be here at the Evanston Writers Workshop Conference in Evanston, Illinois. I can see the lake out here. It's a beautiful setting, and Debbie Fligelman has done a great job getting authors and writers together to talk about the writing world. I was talking about blogging, or I will be about to talk about blogging, and I'm an author of 2 books so far. And my first book was a novel called Undoing I Do, and it's about the convergence of love and divorce. After 12 marriages, I think I'm an expert. I use hyperbole because I care. It was my first marriage, and so that was my first book with St. Martin's Press. And then I co-wrote a book called The Royal Treatment with my sister, who counts Oprah Winfrey as her client, as a veterinarian, and we wrote a book about a natural approach to wildly healthy pets. And that just came out with Simon & Schuster, and that was a lot of fun to co-write. And I interviewed my sister for about 2.5 years, so I feel I could be a vet. That's the beautiful perk of being a writer. You can delve into all these worlds that you don't really know about, and then you can pretend you're that type of a person. So those are my 2 books, and I have a music video online about my first novel. I'm also a musician, pianist, and so yes, that's what I do, and I'm looking forward to going in right now and speaking. And you can find out about my work at www.undoingido.com. Or you could look up The Royal Treatment, which is the book that was a nonfiction book that I co-wrote with my sister, if you have animals and you want a very good read about what you can do to save money on your vet bills and make your pet wildly healthy. And that is The Royal Treatment, a natural approach to wildly healthy pets. You can find that online.